Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So today's video, really cheap Strat, going to be versing against the Mexican. So that's going to be expensive Strat. So I don't know what the actual retail of this Strat is because it comes into one of those kits that you buy, you know, where you get the guitar, the gig bag, the strap, the picks, the extra strings, amplifier for about 300 and some bucks Canadian, right? So that's all fine. I paid $100 for this thing from Long & McQuade. Came in used, of course, just the guitar portion. And I still haven't pulled the sticker off for some reason. But anyways, neat little guitar. I actually went over it to just double check the intonation, and it had a few little minor adjustments needed. But so we're going to go clean against dirty, of course. And I'm plugged into the Black Star tube amp and the HT5, and that's what we're going to use and see what this thing actually sounds like, and then compare it to the other one. See which one you think is better, or is it really worth spending all that extra amount of money to go into a Mexican Strat? Because the next step up from that, don't forget, is American Strats. Okay, so that takes care of all of our clean tones. So let's move on to distortion. Okay, so as many of you guys know, I'm a lefty player, so I'm still working on the whole righty thing, but I'm getting better, as you know. Anyway, so let's switch over and we'll check out our other guitar. Now, I will say this, when it comes to tone, honestly guys, it's in your amp. It's in your speaker in your amp, the cabinet, right? The majority of your tone, about 99% of it, it's all your amp. And I can't really say I'm a massive fan of the Strat actually on the HT5, but I thought, why not do this with an amp that I'm really not too sure about when it comes to the Strats. Just because I've had a little bit of experience with this amp, with the Strats, and well, the Tele actually does a much nicer job, to be honest. But anyway, so this is our Made in Mexico Strat. Now they look basically very similar to each other. This is all black, that's got like a burst to it. They do have a difference in the tremolos, obviously, I mean, that sort of thing. So, let's see what's going on here. And of course the pickups are different. And pickups do make a bit of difference in your tone. So let's get that clean tone going first. Well, the first thing I definitely notice is a lot more output from these pickups. We could definitely upgrade the pickups in that Strat. That's not hard to do. In fact, that is one of the things that are in my plan for the future for that thing. Now, I do find that this Strat does sound much better, I must admit, on the HT5. Okay, now distortion, we may have to turn this down a little bit because, yeah, it might get a little noisy. Maybe not. Alright, now, my honest opinion, the Mexican is definitely the winner here. Now, the Mexican, I really do think that the clean side of the amp is great with this guitar. It loses its stuff, polite way of saying it, when it hits distortion. Okay, at least with the built-in distortion. I still have more experimenting to do with the Strat on the HT5 with my pedal board and different types of distortion effects and whatnot. See how it really does. But The clean definitely does really well with this particular Strat. I think the clean does actually pretty good with both of them. But these are higher output pickups, obviously, than the other one. They're both staggered style pickups, so as far as the pull pieces go, they're the same, right? Heights and angles, the same. Setup, virtually identical to each other. So we do definitely have a much thinner, weaker pickup in the cheap Strat. However, that is subjective to the amplifier you plug it into as well, how well it's going to do, right? So sound is something that is definitely in your amp, yes, but your pickups do have something to do with it, and obviously we've definitely proved that here. I watched a video earlier today which got me the idea of doing this, and that was Anderton's Music Shop. They have, well, the one guy anyways, we know him as the Captain. Normally you would see, what's his name on there? The guy from Chapman Guitars. Anyways, now that guy's a real tone wood freak. Really loves his tone wood, believes in it really well. But Anderton's guy, I mean, obviously, from watching the video when they were talking about cheap guitars, expensive and cheap amps, they had one of the guys there from like the Top Dog YouTube channel. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. Anyways, the guy picked up like a $4,000 PRS, right? And this is of course in their money, which is quite a bit here. Anyway, up against a cheaper guitar, right? And you know, so beginner grade stuff, around $200 guitar. And you know, honestly, for each amp they tested, there wasn't really much difference. They even tried other guitars, etc. So do you really need that more expensive guitar to have a really good sound? Well, actually the answer is no, you don't. And it's really not worth spending 4,000 plus euro or pound or whatever it is over there on a guitar if a $200 guitar sounds almost identical. I mean, there was a slight difference because the PRS was a higher output pickup. And that's kind of what's going on here too, is we do have higher output pickups in this one too, which does make a difference, right? And your sound and tone that can get generated throughout. Excuse me guys, sorry, I usually don't yawn on camera, but anyway, so, but you know, your sound is definitely going to get a bit of an alteration regardless to a certain point with pickups. But I found it quite neat, and then I thought on the other side of the fence, well, a cheap Strat versus an expensive Strat. This Strat sells for $1,089 Canadian, and like I said, we don't know the actual price of the other one, other than I paid $100 for it, right? It was a used guitar and blah blah blah. You guys know the story. But it certainly to me made a good comparison to say, I think other than what I have in mind for the basic upgrades I want to do to that Strat, I think I'm going to take it a little further and actually give it some decent pickups. Now, I'm getting better and better at right-handed guitar, which is great, it's fantastic. And I do like things like Stratocasters and Telecasters. And I still got to find myself a left-handed Tele. I've got one of each on the righty side, so hey, got to have it on the lefty too. But I thought, yeah, that's pretty interesting. I think the results are good. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, you know, you're hearing the sound coming from the amp direct to my camera's Shure condenser mic, which is a very good high-quality microphone. So you're getting a really decent sound here. Let me know what you guys think between the two guitars, which one you think is better. I mean, I already know that the whole end side of the fence, I mean, this is definitely better. But to me, they both kind of lose their stuff when it comes to the distortion on this amp, whereas the clean, I think they do both really well on the clean side. So before we go, let's just do one more sample of clean here, one more sample of clean on the other one. Actually, I'm going to do regular chords because I can't switch between the other ones right-handed yet. And then we'll do the bridge, or the neck, sorry. distortion. Okay. So, let's go grab the other one. Alright guys, it's all up to you down in the comments below. Do you think that maybe a cheaper Strat wouldn't be a bad idea and maybe just upgrade the pickups and you'd have pretty much the equal to that? Because you know, when it comes to build quality between the two of them, they're very much the same in many ways. You know, I mean, they have some obvious differences, but if we upgraded the pickups to this thing, I think that would definitely go a long way to giving this thing a much better sound, you know, through the amp, because let's face it, pickups do have something to do with your sound to a certain point. But anyways, that's what I got for you on this one. Like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And we'll go from there. As soon as I can get my hands on a left-handed Telecaster, of course, we will compare my limited edition 2019 Squier righty against whatever I end up getting for a new left-handed Telecaster, and see how they fare to each other, because it'll still be a cheaper versus expensive, because that 2019, if you buy the most current version, but you won't get a limited edition though, but the most current version of the Squier bullets, they're about $259 Canadian. That I paid $129 for. Things like basically new condition. Guy kept it well. You know, so that's going to be that. And then whatever Telecaster I get, it could be an Affinity, it could be upwards. It won't be a bullet because there's no bullets in left-handed. So it could end up being an Affinity, could be, I don't know, Classic Vibe. Definitely will not be a Mexican one unless we can find a way to get them to figure out how to build a friggin' left-handed Telecaster properly that can actually be set up. Because so far, not one left-handed Mexican that we've tried has been able to be set up, because they've done some stuff to these things from the factory that is just unacceptable, and nobody can set them up for some reason on the left-handed side. Righties are doing fine apparently, but just not the lefties. We don't know what's going on there. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys, and staying tuned, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.